Welcome to this week's edition of the Old Paratrooper podcast. But before we get started, I want to tell you about our new sponsors, Veterans for Veterans. If you served after 1987 and your hearing's taken a knock from your time in the forces, these are the people to speak to. They've helped thousands of veterans like us claim compensation for tinnitus and hearing loss. They're ex-military themselves, so they genuinely get it.
It's free to check if you qualify, and the claims are no win, no fee. To get started, click the link in this video or visit veteransforveterans.co.uk. Right, welcome to another episode of the Old Paratrooper podcast. And it's my pleasure today to be joined with former Grenadier Guard, 2 tours of Afghan, mentioning dispatchers, turned mindset coach, mindset soldier. It's David Smith. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I'm absolutely amazing, mate. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Recovering after Christmas. That's how it goes. So, hey ho.
I had a bit too much gravy, so.
Well, thanks for joining me. Obviously, New Year. I know you're very, very busy, so I always appreciate it when people take time to come on. I like to launch straight into it. Their life stories. It's your story. So, yeah, at the beginning, whereabouts you grew up, what your childhood was like, and basically what led you down the path into the military and beyond. So, yeah, over to you, Dave.
Yeah, so my name's David Smith. I'm 36, come from Coventry, ex-Grenadier Guard. I was a physical training instructor and a Lance Corporal. Joined in 2009, left 2017. Before all of that, I grew up in Coventry, best city in the country, I think.
Okay.
It's getting better, mate. It's getting better. It's a good place to live. Look, we're 2 hours away from anything. Do you know what I mean? So we're in the Midlands. Grew up, had an amazing mum, Maria Gretty Smith, Italian free. Fucking hell, she taught me how to cook, but also throw an uppercut. She was that kind of woman. My dad wasn't present. He'd left us. I think I was around about 2-3 years old. He went to go and have another family down in London, and I had 5 other siblings. I've got a brother, 4 other sisters. One of my sisters passed away, and everything seemed all good, brother. Do you know what I mean? It was just a loving household growing up, as far as I know. But then my mum used to turn to drink and drugs quite a lot. My stepdad was very violent. He was in and out of different things. My mum ran away from my stepdad. My dad became very abusive. And then my mum just went downhill with her mental health. She was an orphan. And she had a lot of trauma as well, which you don't really know until you grow up in an adult and realise what your kind of parents actually went through when you were a child. And within about a year or two, it deteriorated. We got picked up by social services, me and my sister, for neglect and stuff like that. My mum was drinking, having men around. Freaking out. One of my earliest memories, bro, was there was men around in my mum's flat at the time, and they were trying to get a gyro. Remember the gyro?
Yeah.
Fucking gyro money. They're trying to get a gyro money, and then one of the lads ended up getting a blowtorch to my face, trying to blowtorch my face, just to get like fucking £10 out my mum's purse and stuff like that. And that was that constant thing. There was always alcoholics. There was men round. There's people taking drugs in the flat all the time. I was turning up to school like scruffy, wrong clothes, dirty, no food, and then got picked up by social services. And that's where kind of my childhood ended, bro. I was around about 4 years old, went into the care system. My sister's dad took her out of care, left me in care. I was there by myself. It was just fucking mad, mate. 4 or 5 years old. I've got a little boy. He's only 4 now. And I just couldn't imagine my little boy where I went, because there's a place in Coventry called Wisteria Lodge. And it's like a halfway house. Remember Tracy Beaker?
Yeah, I do actually, yeah.
I always kind of reference that 'cause it's the easiest thing. It's a bit like that. It's Tracy Beaker. You've got kids at different ages, like mixing and stuff like that. And I went there, and that's where I kind of got sexually abused to start off with. So that's where I got sexually abused, mentally abused. And then I went into myself, brother, like really bad. Like I'd only really communicate through violence or actions kind of thing. I came into a bit of a mute. Anyone touched me, I'd bite them, hit out. And it was that constant thing for my school. And it was just the abuse kept going on. When I go to different foster parents, they'd abuse me mentally. Some kids would obviously start touching me. It was rife, bro. Like, I don't think people realise how much it is in the care system. The abuse, physically, mentally, and sexually, like what kids go through. It's just horrific, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound rough, mate. And I have heard this. I was obviously never in care. I grew up with my family, but I have heard multiple guests talk about the care system and how it's broken and it's just an abuse of power and all that kind of stuff. So it does sound like you had a bit of shitty start there and kind of I suppose that's detriment to your character, or, you know, kind of reflection on your character, what you've done with your life, which we'll move on to, and how you've and your mindset, which you talk about a lot, obviously, from where you've come from to where you are now. So what was the turning point, would you say, that you thought, right, the military is going to be sort of a way for me?
That was a long way ahead, bro. Like, it was just, I was still navigating through being a child, going through obviously being in the care system. It was just, I don't think it really hurt me being a dad. When I became a father, I didn't realize the pain that it would cause. I thought it'd be the most happiest time of my life, but it's made me realize, why the fuck did my parents put me through that? Why couldn't they get their shit together? Do you know what I mean? And put me through all of that. Because it was just like, even like parents' evenings, bro. I was going to parents' evening with my carers that I didn't even know. Do you know what I mean? People knew every time I was going to different parent meetings, there was different men and women there, like, and I was always getting picked on. Do you know what I mean? No one loved you as a child. Do you know what I mean? Even like some of the parents, bro, were horrific. Then going through secondary school, same kind of thing. Went to an all-boys school. Didn't really see my mum at the time. Back and forth with her, seeing her every other weekend, every other week. The relationship got quite good. Like, she got back on track in a way. Like, she hid our alcohol very well. She was one of them. She was a very what's the word I'm going to use? Someone that uses alcohol but doesn't look like they're using alcohol. Do you know what I mean?
Is that functioning alcoholic kind of?
Yeah, that's the word, brother. Yeah. She was very good at it. But then when I started to stay at weekends, she became quite abusive again and stuff like that. It was the same thing. That's why UB40 in 2020 always fucking gives me chills.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Anytime UB40 comes on, quite depressive songs, it just reminds me of my childhood, my mum being drunk or abused and my mum being raped, me watching it and stuff like that. And it's growing up through that, it damaged me emotionally, especially my relationships. Self-sabotage all my relationships, not very good with physical touch or sexual stuff. Like, it still does harm me in certain ways. And when I was around about 15, 16, I didn't really see my mum for around about 6 months. Went to go and live with my stepdads at the time. And I was dealing drugs at the time, bro, across Coventry, Birmingham, just selling weed and stuff, trying to make ends meet and get money and stuff. And then I didn't see my mum for about 6 months. And one of my good friends who actually I was dealing drugs with was Muslim at the time. And he actually helped me convert to Islam. I actually converted to Islam when I was 16, bro, which was a massive change for me. But it was more, I wasn't really seeking God. I was seeking a community, brotherhood, and it gave me that. Like, the Muslim community in Islam was phenomenal, bro. They fed me when I had no food. They gave me a roof when I had no roof. Like, they gave me something I've never experienced, unconditional love. Do you know what I mean? And that, they gave me that, bro. And do you know what I mean? And one of the mullahs said to me at the time, he was just like, how does your mum feel about you converted to Islam and your dad and your family? I said, look, I don't speak to my mum. She lives around the corner. I haven't spoken to her for about 6 months. She's an alcoholic. So I don't know my dad. And I said, me and my family are all fucking traumatized from all the shit we've kind of been through. We don't really speak. He's like, you need to speak to your mum. I was just like, I can't speak to her. He said, look, you need to speak to her. Something's going to happen. Like, you need to do this. 2 days later, watching Footballers' Wives, bro, by 8 o'clock at night, I heard a knock at the door at my stepdad's. I thought it was the police. Started to try and hide my drugs and stuff like that. I was like, fucking hell, I want to get caught, yeah. And yeah, just, you know, that police knock. And all I heard from the top of the stairs, I ran out to the top of the stairs just to lean over the banister. My stepdad opened the door, opened the porch, and he was just, oh, is David Smith there? And he was like, yeah, he's upstairs. What's he done? Obviously, instantly thought I was fucking doing something wrong.
In the shit.
Yeah, in the shit. It's like, fuck. He said, no, he's done nothing wrong. We just want to pass on our condolences, like Maria Grace Smith passed away. And that just fucking hit me, bro. Like, there's no console in there. Like, the door shut. I was just on my knees at the top of the stairs, like, trying to comprehend what I've just heard. I just kind of broke down. My stepdad, he was just like, David. I was like, yes, Dad. He's like, did you hear that? I was like, yeah. And that was it. That was the conversation over. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, so I just ran downstairs, put my shoes on, ran. Furthest I've ever ran until I was in the military, perhaps fucking 5-6 miles, all the way down to my mum's house in Paradise. It's actually called Paradise. It wasn't Paradise. It's a shit area. Knocking at the door, seeing the blinds, fucking couldn't open it. The nets, just I couldn't see anything. My dogs weren't there. It just started to sink in, bro. Like, fucking hell, I've just lost an opportunity to break bread with my mum. Do you know what I mean? I've lost that opportunity. And kind of been in a bit of a spiral there. Me and my stepdad's relationship weren't great anyway. It's what he used to do to my mum. But he's an amazing man, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because now I know when my mum was an absolute fucking terrorist in a relationship. Do you know what I mean? She had 6 kids by 5 different men. She was in and out of relationships. She was cheating on him. Do you know what I mean? Until you grow older, you don't really know what you go through. And then he got quite abusive. Not I'm gonna say abusive. Do you know what I mean? We got a bit of violent. Do you know what I mean? I'm 16 years old. I think I'm a big I am. Who do you think you're gonna fucking hit? He fucking banged me, bro. Good one. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So I fucking needed it, and that was just like the nail in the coffin. Really, I fucking just went. Then I lived on the streets. Lived with my sisters for a little bit. Lived on the streets for about 2 years, on and off, in halfway houses, wherever I could sleep, friends' sofas, bus shelters, fucking anywhere I could kind of sleep, mate. I tried to join the army just as I turned 18. I couldn't join because I had no registered address. I wasn't registered anywhere. They wouldn't let me. I had no bank account. I had no ID. So then I had to register myself home. I didn't even know this at the time. You have to register yourself homeless, so people know you're homeless.
Right.
Fucking never knew that was a thing. I'm just like, well,
No,
I've got nowhere
I've
to
just
sleep.
learned that as well. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. Like, if you don't register yourself like homeless in your city, you're not actually registered as homeless. You just, I was just like that. That baffles the fuck. I've been living on the streets for about a year, and I'm not classed as homeless. Mad.
So they don't know you're in the system then, to suppose, if you're not registered as homeless. And that might be where half the battle is with trying to figure out who's homeless and who's not if you don't know you got to register. So
Exactly. The statistics are probably way more than these be. You got to think if people who are ex-military are very proud. They don't want to go. They don't want to go down that route. They don't want to ask for help. So what they do, they'll end up sleeping on the streets, and they're just lost through the system because they are in the system. But I didn't know that until I was homeless. Fucking, I was living on the streets, and they were just like, "Well, you need to register yourself homeless." So what do you mean register myself homeless? I was living on the streets. Like, what do you want me to do? Well, you need to go to the council. You need to register with them that you're homeless, that you've got nowhere to live, that no one will actually take you in. So my stepdad had to say, no, he's not living at mine. My sister had to say, no, he's not living at mine, that kind of thing. And then got a place in Coventry called the Foyer, and they house people and like shared accommodation. So you can accommodate. They'll show you normal things, how to get a bank account, how to go to a job interview, all kinds of things that give you a room, how to cook, kind of stuff like that. And then got a registered address, joined the military when I was 19 on the 25th of January 2009. Never looked back, bro, really. Fucking hell. It was the best thing ever happened to me because I think I was just born for it. They didn't break me through training. Do you know what I mean? Next 7-8 months of training, fucking thrived off it. Like, probably like yourself, it just absolutely thrived off it. And that's where gratitude came into my life, but I didn't know what it was gratitude because people were moaning about having 3 square meals a day, going on exercise, living in shell scrapes, having fucking rations. I was like, bro, I was living out a bin 3 months ago. Chill the fuck out. Do you know what I mean? It's just like that gratitude getting, I was just like, you know what, I'm going for this. Did training, passed it, got best recruit, which was amazing for me. Do you know what I mean? For going like nearly 100 recruits, getting best recruit. So that was a tick in the box. I was just like, fucking go on. Then 2 months later, went to Nijmegen company, which is a ceremonial company for Grenadier Guards. And then at the time, OH was our regimental sergeant major. I think he was our company sergeant major. And they were asking for battle casualty replacements. So I fucking jumped a bit because I did not want to keep staggering on fucking.
no, I don't blame you on that one. Yeah, fair one.
I did not want to keep staggering on fucking. Do you know what I mean? The palaces and that, because it was. I was like, absolutely not. Yeah, 100%. I'd rather go after and try and get killed than fucking stay. So I literally jumped on it, bro. Within about 3 weeks on my first tour, did the last five months of on the 2009 tour, and that just changed me, bro. First time I heard a round, first time I used UGL, a rocket launcher. Do you know what I mean? It was just, yeah, I was meant for this shit kind of thing. Like, and I absolutely loved it. But like, you know, the things that come with it, seeing your mates blown up, shot.
Yeah, and I like to say, you know, you'd been prepared for it, unbeknown to you, with your kind of inadvertently, with your childhood. I suppose that's probably why you thrived, because you're in a better place, weren't you? Really, but you'd also been mentally a little bit prepared from such a young age. That had to have kind of helped with the training and going on to what you did, I suppose. Would you agree with that?
100%, like psychologically, like how your body works with like neurological pathways. Like my body just responded to chaos, like comfort. I could sit in a firefight because I'm used to them sounds. You know what I mean? I've heard gunshots before. I've heard fucking loud bangs. They're things that are normal to me. They're different things and objects, but it was just a normal to me. Do you know what I mean? People knew me when I was on tour. Fucking hell, I was a green soldier. Do you know what I mean? I never took a knee. I just went straight beeline for the enemy, bro. People were just like, hold back. It was in me to be a soldier. I wasn't stupid. Do you know what I mean? My skill set was amazing. Like, same with the Paris, bro. Your skill set's there. You don't put yourself or other people in danger. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. But I knew I just didn't break under pressure. But as soon as I come back to reality, bro, as soon as my boots hit the ground from fucking Bryce Norton onto the coach back to fucking the barracks, I just broke, bro. went back to my room, flat packed it, fucking, do you know what I mean? Couldn't deal with it.
And this is the really weird thing when I'm talking to veterans that have come back from operational tours and that they say that they've got something so clear and concise and not easy when you're on tour, but you've got a routine. You get up, you admin yourself, you then go out and go about your daily routine. You don't worry about daily life. When you come back into the real world, that's when you find soldiers, really, and veterans struggle with the basic of tasks, paying bills, having to go out and do shopping. All those things get solid. It's a weird one because you're taught to be self-sufficient in some of the worst shitholes on the planet, yet you can't navigate your way around a supermarket because it blows your mind. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, 100%. It's weird. Even like the trolley, do you know what I mean? Going there, like my PTSD got quite bad after my first tour, but I didn't realize like it was just like obviously overshadowed by drinking, drugs, and fucking going out fighting. Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't go to the shops, mate. Tesco. I'm so glad they do 24 hours, bro. Because I was going to shops at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just so I didn't hear trolleys, because it used to set me off. You just don't realize. But then you think you're weak and you don't want to tell people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing about the stigma. That's what I'm aiming to do with what I kind of do is again, when we get gentlemen like yourself with a story of resilience and a story of what you've been through, hopefully people will see it and go, well, he can talk about it and he's quite comfortable talking about it. There is no stigma around it. If anything, I believe it shows more strength to sit and talk about it than bottle it up and struggle in silence. So again, I applaud you what you're trying to do. I think we're on the same sort of line, spread that awareness.
Definitely.
There's a lot of us doing it, but there can't be enough people doing it because it needs spreading and talking about, doesn't it?
100%, and it needs to be the right people. And I think one of the worst sayings, I fucking hate it, is a problem shared is a problem halved. And I think it's complete and utter bullshit. It has to be with the right person, because that problem can be doubled if it's with the wrong person. And that's why, like, men like yourself and other people, we need to converse, we need to communicate so we can push it out to the other brotherhoods and sisterhoods that go through tour and stuff like that. It's okay to talk, and you need to talk to the right people, especially with vulnerability and people that have been through it. Because freaking out, I've been going through counselling and therapy since I was 4 years old, saying I was fucking in anger management. And I've been doing it now, nearly 32 years I've been in counselling and therapy, and I stopped it a couple of years ago. But when I went through the military and going through like DCMH and going through the mental health, they were amazing, but they weren't equipped. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can always blame the fucking weapon, but it's the person behind it sometimes. And it was at the point where it was just like some of the psychiatrists that were in the military, some of the best psychiatrists, they were just clock watching. When I'm in there pouring my heart out, they were just clock watching. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, they don't get it. But then I can go to the NAFI on sports afternoon, have a fucking beer, tell everything to my fucking mate, get it all out. I feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what it means when you've gone through the same shit and the brotherhood. Like, this is the first time we've conversed before, but I consider you as a brother. You've been through what I've been through, bro. I get ya. I know you've got the morals and character, sea drills, all that is there. I know you before I know you.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important. That's why I think men in your position need to keep doing what you're doing, is just opening that gate for other men to come forward, 100%.
Yeah, and it is. And I say it all the time. Excuse me. I harp on about it. It's like, as soon as you step out them gates, you're not surrounded by that support network, or you're in the block, a support network of veterans. That's when you start to see the decline in a lot of veterans and serving military personnel, because they're no longer surrounded by that support network. And again, by doing what you do, what I do, and lots of other people do, hopefully it gives a place where veterans can come together and look at it and just be, look, I'm listening to a like-minded individual. He gets it. He understands it. You can't talk to some civilians. Some of them do brilliant jobs, but it's difficult. You need people that understand what you've done, what you've seen. Now, I'm openly honest about my military career. It was fairly quiet. Did quite a bit on the CP circuit and saw quite a lot out there, similar sort of stuff. But you need like-minded individuals, don't you, to talk to and get your points. No, absolutely, brother. I see where you're coming from on that one. So I want to talk to you about, obviously, the MID that you got, if you're happy to talk about that incident. Was that on your second tour of Afghan?
Yeah, that was my second tour of Afghan, 2012 summer tour. So it was kind of completely different to my first tour, because my first tour was a winter into summer. Do you know what I mean? So the second tour was a lot more kinetic. Do you know what I mean? Best tour by far. Like, I know it's weird saying that, but it was the best tour. That's what I joined the military for. Every day was a gunfight, 2-3 times a day. We were killing the enemy. We were going there. We were taking ground. We were doing good things. But fucking hell, we got nearly over 100 injuries, 5 deaths on that tour. One of my good friends, Jimmy James, he got a VC on that tour. He's obviously sadly passed away, but it was just, there was some fucking heroes on that tour, bro. Like, I don't really like wearing my medals. I don't do what you do. Like, I don't put them up. I've got all so I had my kids over the other night, and it kind of broke me a little bit. I actually, like, because I've got all my pictures on the floor in my spare bedroom. They're not hung up or anything. My kids running more than 3 years old. So they're like, "Who's that, Daddy?" Like, all the thing is, that's me, mate. Well, why are they not out there? Like, I'm just like, that isn't Malcolm being out there. They're just photos of obviously me and Afghan and all kinds of stuff with the Queen and the mentioned dispatchers. It's just, I try to forget that person. Do you know what I mean? A lot, just because the way I came out of the military is kind of a bitter pill to swallow. But reflecting back on it, fucking hell, I had an amazing career. Do you know what I mean? And I was going, the way I wanted to go was like, that's the route I was going. I was going Recce Commanders, Pathfinders. That's the way I wanted to go. That was me. Like, I couldn't give a shit about rank. Couldn't give a shit about it. And it was just, when that was took away from me, it's just, I need to put them up more. Do you know what I mean? Because what happened on that tour was just phenomenal. Like,
Yeah, no, I get you. And some people do, some people don't. It's only been the last sort of maybe 4 or 5 years I've started. So I didn't have them mounted until this year. And I never wore them, I never really did remembrance and stuff. And now I'm in a position, I'm 46 years of age. I've started doing what I do. So I've started putting a bit back, but it's not for everyone. And I get that. I respect everyone's views. Some people don't go to remembrance because it brings up bad memories. And a lot of the times it's the negative stuff that happens with the military. But, you know, I speak quite openly about the military along with the fire service, about how they treat you after and how you're just a number and how they fuck you over. And they don't give a shit about you. We know they don't. The fire service is absolutely no different. I talk openly about that as well. But you're giving everything for that organisation at the time, being the best soldier, the best firefighter that you can be. And then they just don't give a shit about you when you're struggling after. And that's the bit that breaks me. And I get totally where you're coming from on that front.
yeah.
And it was that
Yeah.
was that kind of how I mean, are you happy to talk about the events surrounding winning?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So how did that come about? That was obviously in Afghan. Which part of Afghan were you in at the time?
I think it was, mate, this is what I was speaking to my mate about this yesterday, because I was with my mate Charlie, and I went somewhere. I'm going off subject a little bit. Three days ago, I met one of my best mates who was in the Grenadier Guards with me, Charlie Leonard. He's my brother. I went to a soft play down in Northampton, playing with my kids and that. Looked up, he's like, "Fuck, Smudge." Everyone calls it obviously Smith, Smudge. It's like, "Fucking hell, mate, I haven't seen you since 2012. He was a dog handler on our tour. It just fucking, we were going back and just like, fucking hell. And then things start to remember, we talk about stuff. But I have like a blank canvas. I'm just like, people ask, where, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I think it's to do with obviously how my psychological works of just forgetting stuff sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure we were at PB Clifton. At the time it was North Cochrane, I think it was. And it was complete green zone, bro. It was an absolutely beautiful place. Like, we went from like being on PB Clifton where it was all sand dunes at the back and stuff like that. And when we turned around in our arcs, it was beautiful, bro. Like, it was just, the scenery was amazing. But as soon as you step across that line within a meter, it's either you're alive or you're going to have to try and keep alive. It was that, because they were defending their fields of poppies. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's millions of pounds worth of heroin on them fields. And that's what they're doing there to protect. So on this day, it was, I come back off, did I come back off? I was an hour and I come back. And then it was just before 1 hour actually, because it was the peak of the summer. And we're going on a baiting op. So a baiting op is, like you probably know, you'll go out, try and be shot by the enemy so you can shoot back into card alpha. I was fine with that, because my first round was normally a 66, not a fucking 5.56. And that's how I did it. People knew me for that. Like, if you're going to try and kill my mate, I'm going to kill your platoon, kind of thing. And going on this baiting op, we took over a compound. We got ambushed. And so we took into a compound. We got our, it was Sergeant Shepherd at the time. He went in with our Mr. Stoner. He's actually 2-2 now. And they were building up a plan. So I was out the front giving arcs to John Dawson, who got shot, my mate Eddie Engum. They were taking over the firefight because he had the GPMG. I was like, giving him arcs, shoot there. And I remember I was talking to Dawson. Dawson's a really good friend of mine, bro. We went through training together. Yeah. We went through the same company together, same tours together. I was the only person that could bully him. Do you know that brotherhood? I could call him a fat cunt. Don't call him a fat cunt. I'll call him a fat cunt. Kind of that mentality.
Yeah.
And his nickname was Pudding, because every time we were in training, he always used to go up for seconds, the fat cunt. Do you know what I mean? For meals. So I was shouting, Pudding, get your head down, like fucking duck down while he's shooting. And he was clean. He had a hard cock in his rifle, kept doing it. I was like, what are you doing, mate? You're getting shot at and you're trying to fix your weapon system. Like, give me your fucking weapon system. Got him down into a bit of a bunker. And I remember getting his rifle, fucking jamming it, pulling it, and the round fucking flipped up. I remember grabbing the round as it come down, putting it in my off spray, putting it where the radio was at the time. And there was one round in there. Got his rifle, put it in, told him to go back in. The firefight kind of dimmed down a little bit because we gave suppressing fire. Right. This was the mission after that. We're going to go to the compound. I think it was the northeast, take that compound over so we can get our arcs and try and go through every single compound and mosque, because there was a mosque there. And so we went through, and there was this one mosque, and our platoon commander at the time, he didn't want us to go in this mosque. He was just like, no, it's like it's bad for it. Like, hearts and minds bullshit. Yeah, I get it. But we're being shot at, sir. Do you know what I mean? We need to, every single compound we're going in, we need to check. I said, look, I'm Muslim. Let me go in. I can speak Arabic. Let me just speak. Wouldn't allow us in there, whatever sounds. That's the only compound we didn't check. Went in, took over a compound, took over the arcs. I got on top of the compound with John Outwood. He was a sharpshooter at the time. What year did you leave, brother?
Oh, I left 2004, mate, a long time before that.
So you wouldn't have seen the sharpshooter rifles that come in. Have you seen that?
They ran after, came in after.
Yeah. So they were like little mini snipers. They had about 250 meters more, 300 meters more than a normal rifle. That were amazing bit of kit. So I had the sharpshooter with me, and it was me. We were doing 360 ops, just walking around, having a look around, checking the atmosphere, see who's around, what farmers around. The atmosphere just changed, bro. You just knew something was just wrong. When kids are running toward you and past you, you know shit's going down. You're just like, great, the Taliban's around here somewhere. We got in kind of air support, tried to have a look round. There was no noticeable areas where we could see Taliban or the helicopters. So we took over this compound, doing arcs for about an hour and a half, and it was red hot, bro. It was about 40 degrees, 45 degrees. And I shouted down for the next century to take over. Sergeant Shepherd got John Dawson and Ali Engum to take over our position. Ali Engum took over behind me, so he was the back arcs of me. I was talking on northeast, so I was facing near the mosque. And at the top of the compound, it went straight, and there was a divot, then it would go under, then there was another divot, and there was like solar panels on top, which the Afghans had. When John Dawson took over my position, I was like, gave him the arc, just make sure you keep an eye on that mosque. That's the only place we've not seen. If you to have a drink or anything, that's the same thing. Get in your back buckle, get down, have a drink, get back up. I gave him that, talked to Engum, got down off the ladder, literally took my osprey off, took my Ubex off, just about to set my boots up, put my rifle down, and literally all you heard was bam, just like, fuck, that's one round, that's like position shot. Shouted up to Engum, couldn't see anything back because couldn't see John Dawson. I was like, Engum, where the fuck is John? Where's John? He just froze, bro. Like shell shock. He just looked at me, just like, I was just like, fucking hell. So I got on top of the compound, no body armor, no helmet, no rifle. My first thing was John. Looked over the top, couldn't see John. So I think he's fell down onto this little divot. I was like, Engum, give me your rifle, give me the Jimpy. Fucking pulled it back, tried to shoot, hard cock, pulled back, hard cock. I was like, for fuck's sake. Through that, tried to grab my SA-80, tell someone to bring it up, shoot, hardcock again, bro. I'm just like, fucking hell, man. So I was lucky I'm alive, bro. I was just like, still getting shot at, threw the weapon system down, got down as low as possible, crawled over to John, looked at him, he was just flat out, bro. I was like, fuck, I think John's been shot, shouted down to the medic, get your kit ready. Jumped over to John, couldn't see any entry and exit wounds, just couldn't see anything, mate. Grabbed his head, couldn't see anything, checked his balls, arse, cheeks, fucking arsehole, legs, everywhere like that. Couldn't see any blood. Turned his head and literally just seen the entry and exit wounds. So he got shot from, I think it was the left hand side of his cheek underneath, and it come out the top hand side of his right head, the rounded. I don't know how the fuck he survived it, bro. Tilted his head. I was just like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Obviously, the training kicks in, but there's nothing you can do with a head wound, bro. There's nothing you can do. I couldn't put a head com in there. I couldn't fucking tape or put a plaster on it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the movies.
Yeah.
Tilted it, and he was just gargling on his blood, so he was choking. So I pulled his tongue out, drained him with blood. I put him kind of on his side, so he was draining the blood. So I hunked my body over to his, so he didn't get shot, because we were still getting shot at. So I tried to hunker over towards like the solar panel, just to try and get a little bit of cover. And literally, everything was all shot up. Davo and Hollis were at the top of the ladder. I dragged him over, took him over. I was like, I need more help, because he was a big lad, bro. He had the osprey. You're probably talking about 120, 130 kg trying to drag that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when the adrenaline hits, bro, you fucking are a soldier, fucking 70 kg, can probably pull fucking 400 kg.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So got him over the compound, dragged him down. I remember, so I've hooked him under, took his osprey off to try and light her. My mate Charlie Leonard was at the bottom of it, so I've got him like that, grabbed his feet, but then John Dawson's head went like that, and just all the blood just went all the way down to fucking Charlie's face, in his mouth. And it was all like that. And we just started laughing, and we were just like, fucking hell, mate, this is mad. Do you know what I mean? It's that kiddie attitude, just laughing in chaos.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just like all the blood was going in my other mate's mouth. I was like, fucking clean yourself up, you cunt. Like, fucking get down. Got him down off the ladder. I grabbed the 66, went over to the top sound and just went bam, hit the fucking compound. It just stopped. The firefight stopped for a second. I was like, it was 100% that mosque. It come from that mosque. Do you know what I mean? I was raring to go, bro. I was like Rambo shit. No top on, no nothing. I was about to get my weapon system and just fucking run, bro. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, no, right, we need to get our coordinates. We need to turn this over. The medic took over John. We took over the firefight, suppressed the enemy. The round stopped. We asked to show of force come. It died down for a little bit. And then we can divert our attention to John. Went over to John. We thought he was dead because he's just non-responsive, bro. He was just gone. Shaking him, trying to get him over. The medic was doing amazingly what he was doing. I was speaking to John and he just started to come round, bro. It was just fucking mad. Yeah, mad. He still had his fucking his gloves on at the time. I took his gloves off and he was just like, what's happened? I was like, nothing, mate. Like, you're all good. You just fell off top of the compound. You just knocked your head. You're all good. And he fucking ended up getting his finger, like, because he was searching. He fucking put his finger in his fucking head, bro. I've got a tough stomach, bro. I was just like,
Yeah.
sent me a little bit. I was like, I was about to be sick in that. But I was like, right, get him together. Heli come round, mate. The heli was fucking amazing. When you can hear it, you can't see it because it's so fucking low across all the bushes and the fucking trees. And it just did a U-turn, bro, like a handbrake turn, straight down, straight. John Dawson was on there. The SF were amazing. They took him straight on there, straight to Bastion. We kind of regroup then. And then what happened then, right there, what I did then was told the section commander, right, get all your helmets, because I was like, we need to know the direction of fire. We're only going to know that, obviously, by sound or vision. So I got them to put their helmets on top of the compound. It was like, wherever that helmet gets shot, we know where the enemy is coming from. Nothing kind of happened, so we regrouped. What really fucked my head up that night, though, was stagging on. So I had to stag on top of it. We all kind of did, but I did it was about 4 hours on there. It was just John Dawson's blood, mate. It was just black. When it's like rolled up with sand and dust and debris, it's a different smell, bro. And I'll never get rid of that smell. I can just, when I smell blood, I can just remember Dawson every single time. And stagging on that, that's what really gave me fucking night terrors when I came back from Afghan. It was just that constant thing of like him meeting his blood. And then we made a plan about 4 o'clock in the morning, get up, like 4:15, move, boots on the ground, move out. And we took a beeline back to the compound to Clifton. And it was literally, bam, we got ambushed left and right. We were just like, anything moves, shoot the fucking thing. And it was just, as we were going down, left and right, shoot, knock down. I remember seeing John Outwood fucking knock some guys straight over with a sharpshooter. But they're so fucking, I can't even write the word for them. They're little bitches, the Taliban. They'd hold up kids, do you know what I mean, as they're shooting and shit like that. So we couldn't shoot. Like, it was just horrific, bro. But that's why we're so good to have sharpshooters and stuff, because we're still getting pinged with kids in their hands and stuff like that. Because we're running out of bombs and bullets. Got back to the compound, got back in. It was just, and then we heard obviously John Dawson did survive. A couple of days later, we're still getting treatment. But yeah, I couldn't believe that he survived that, man.
Wow, that's incredible. And is he alive now?
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, he's still alive. He's still doing amazing. He lives down in Warwick, not far from me. He does freaking out. He's active as fuck, mate. Half his body's paralysed, like his left hand side. And when I came back to Selly Oak to see him, do you remember that scene from, I think it's Batman Begins with Two-Face?
Yeah.
That was the same. When I say to people, that was the scene when I went to go and see him in Selly Oak. So the last time I seen him, he got shot in the face. About 3-4 months later, I seen him in Selly Oak, and he was literally just there. He was a moaning bastard anyway. He was still moaning about everything. You could just hear him. He just started laughing. And I remember him turning his face, and half his face was just missing. I was just like, fucking hell, man. I was like, fucking hell, I could put cornflakes in there and eat out of it, like, fuck it, because it can complete bowl. But yeah, he survived. He's good. He does mountains all the time. He's going out doing activities. He's still a pain in the ass, but he's fucking good. He's good.
Yeah, what a guy, eh? What a guy. It's easy to roll over in them situations and go, right, that's me. And I love all these stories. It's why I hear them as well, because and I like them to get out there so people can hear them and sort of listen to real stories again of resilience. Your story, you know, John's story of like being shot and still cracking on and now still thriving through life despite that adversity. They're just brilliant human kind of aspects that I like to kind of hear. So, no, absolutely brilliant.
That's why normally I don't like putting up my distinctions. You know what I mean? I don't like putting them up because mate, when I was given the oak leaf, mate, I threw it. I don't want it. It's not me. Like, I did my job. He fucking survived. He deserves that fucking medal. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't wear it. I'm sure I nearly got done for insubordination for it because I refused to wear it on like medals parade. I was like, I'm not wearing it. You have to wear it. You've been given it by the Queen. I'm not fucking wearing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that
personal
constant
preference. Yeah, it's personal preference again. You should be able to have that. If you don't want to wear it for your personal reasons, then you don't wear it. And I get it as well. There are a lot of guys that like to say the same thing. You were doing your job, you know, and there was a lot of people that got awarded medals for certain stuff, and then other people that did more stuff but never got an award or medal. So he's very bitter with the whole medal award thing. I've had a few military cross runners on, and they're like, there was loads of guys that did awesome stuff and courageous stuff that should have got them an award, but they didn't. And you know, it's a bit, but that's the way it goes. And like I say, your personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, you got to think that that's one instant over 7-8 months on there. Do you know what I mean? There's some of the, I'm so lucky to have been on tour with some of the most amazing soldiers because I wouldn't be alive with some of their help. Do you know what I mean? It's just like Science Separate, absolutely amazing. Brett Gunning, amazing. Some of the soldiers out there were just, you know, your soldier dads, like you look at them like, fuck it, mate, they're alley as fuck. And I always say it, like Ollie Ollinson, like he's one of the fucking hell, the guy inspires me massively. Like people like him, they're the true heroes of the world that go out there, fight the fucking enemy, come back, still smile, still grind. Do you know what I mean? It's not these fucking influence. People call me I fucking hate it, bro.
No, I've had the same thing, mate. It's not that I'm just a bloke that puts on a podcast and talks to interesting people with amazing stories, you know. And look, if you can be labelled whatever you want to be labelled, we know what we're doing and why we do it. I think that's the main thing. I don't do it for any recognition. I do it to get the stories out there and hopefully help and spread that awareness about the struggles like yourself with PTSD and all that kind of stuff, you know. Obviously, I know you're short on time, so
No, we'll carry on, bro. It's right. My kids are it.
So they're knocking around in the background. Yeah. Obviously, after that tour, you've kind of you've come back. It's a very kinetic tour. Sounds like they both were. The second one being more so. What was the kind of turning point after that you thought? Because there's usually a point. There's a turning point where people go, right, I am done with this. I have my turning point. Just wasn't through any conflict. I was just a bit fredders with it. I wanted more. I wanted to be different. I wanted different experience. What was your kind of turning point when you thought, right, I'm getting out? And did you have a plan when you got out?
No, I had no plan, mate. My plan was coming back off. My plan with my company, Sound Major at the time, right, 2012, do that tour, come back off that, bam. You go to do, obviously, P Company. I said, I don't want to go and do, but I want to go straight to Pathfinders. My Recce Commanders, that was me, Pathfinders. So either that or get out, sir. I said, I'm not asked. I'm not here for rank or anything. I'm not that kind of person. Right, Sound, put you on that, come back, doing the training for that. Just get my knees and body ready for it because I know it was going to be fucking grueling doing Pathfinders. But then I didn't realise that was going to be the easiest battle of my life. Was the tour. Coming back was the biggest battle for me. Trying to regulate my mind, communicating with people, the isolation, the drink, the drugs, the violence. I just came an absolute empty vessel, bro. Like it was just, I was amazing on tour, come back, I was still doing my job. I was fucking getting up in the morning, drinking alcohol, going out, doing it AFT, CFT, doing fucking the 2 milers, 3 milers over the sisters, doing that, doing 5 PT sessions a day, doing that, come back, drinking, it's that same thing constantly. Because the PTS really hit me was with the night terrors. I just couldn't sleep, like 2-3 days. I just couldn't sleep. I was going to sleep in like rigor mortis. So the night terror was instant for me. As I was going to sleep, it was, my body would just jolt, my eyes were open, I was screaming, and I was screaming for help. I just couldn't move, and my body was just going into it. That firefight kept happening. Loads of other stuff with like Michael Holmes, other fucking people that were shot on that tour or blown up. It was just, I was afraid to go sleep. I felt like a little bitch. I was afraid to go to sleep. So I kept putting sleep off, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up at 5 anyway, just stay awake. Do that, try and do the work, still trying to do a great job, but obviously I was just losing my mental capacity. Do you know what I mean? I'm very irritable. I would snap at people. I was very violent. Do you know what I mean? If anything said anything wrong to me, it was bad, but I don't care if you were a lance corporal or corporal or sergeant major, you were going to get knocked out. And that was me. I would end up fucking knocking people out, get into a fucking fight. I was just smudge. Do you know what I mean? So I was always that person. Just leave him alone. Let him do his job. He's good at his job. Don't speak to him. Just let him do his job.
Leave
Kind
him
of
to
thing.
it.
Yeah, just leave that kind of bloke in there. Do you know what I mean? Just leave him to it. He's gone to his room. He'll be back in a bit. Do you know what I mean? I'll go back to my room, flat pack my room. And it got to the point where they stopped putting new stuff in my room because I just kept flat packing it. So, do you know what I mean? So it was just easy. It was just me on the floor with a fucking little TV, watching Jeremy Cole, getting pissed off, going to a CFT, come back. That same kind of thing. And it was just constant, and it was just fighting all the time, going out and looking for a fight because the fight was still in me. I was still pissed off. You know what I mean? My friends have been killed. Nothing was happening about it. I've come back off tour. What am I supposed to just allow the Taliban just to who killed my mate? I couldn't comprehend it. Like, I want to go back on tour. When are we going back on tour? Do you know what I mean? It was that constant thing for me, that battle.
Yeah,
And that's where it got me, really.
yeah, that is you see this now. I witnessed so many people while I was in the military coming back, and you'd just call them social hand grenades, wouldn't you? You'd be like, he's just a social hand grenade going out on the lash. Is that what you are?
That's why I've got that tattooed, bro.
But it is these. How many guys do you know that you label with social anger and just go, it's just the way he is. He goes on the lash, he can't handle it, or he becomes a nightmare after a few months. But now you look back and you can recognise it as blokes were struggling, and it's how they dealt with it.
Patterns, 100%. It's patterns. That's why. The biggest thing in the army, what is it? It's drinking drugs. People don't know about it, but sports afternoon back in the day, it was right to the naffy, get drinks, go out, have a fight with the paras, fucking rifles or whatever, come back.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Get your aggression out. And that's what decompression is. Do you know what I mean? You go to fucking Cyprus for 2 days, fucking hell. I've had more fights in Cyprus than I've had in England. Do you know what I mean? But you need that aggression out. But we learn to be controlled aggression. When the aggression's in our head and we don't know how to portray it through, it's hard work. The military do amazing things, but it's just they're not equipped with that side of it, and they haven't been since World War I too. Do you know what I mean?
And they still aren't now.
No.
I mean, I know that there's a bit of a push with a lot of these organisations, but it's a bit like they're paying lip service to it because they know that 99% of soldiers and veterans are struggling with their mental health because of the things they've done. You'll get a lot of people that literally come on here and criticise it and go, well, you signed up for it. Yes, we did. We did. We enjoyed it. We did it at the time. But nobody knows how you're going to react. Some people don't struggle. Some people do. Some people have hidden struggles. But you expect some sort of support network for you when you come back. It's not a normal job to go and do what you do. And I think a lot of people that comment do normal run-of-the-mill of the jobs, which are absolutely fine. We need them, but they're not experiencing the kind of experience. Anyone can struggle with mental health, but if you've seen what you've seen in the circumstances, some of the circumstances I've been in, and lots of other veterans, you can understand it. So they need that support, and it's just not set up for that. And I think the thing is money.
Yeah.
They open that can and start. It's too much money for them to spend, and they haven't got it. Cutbacks again. It's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. But even remember PAX? I don't know if they're still running.
I remember them. I don't know, it's somewhat different now, but yeah, PAX. Yeah.
PAX and Abacus. There was PAX and Abacus at the time.
Yeah.
I remember coming after. I was just fuck, mate. Obviously, I got made P0. I got diagnosed with PTSD. I didn't want to go down that route, mate, because I remember John Frith, was on our company side majors. Fucking amazing bloke. Absolutely amazing. One for the lads. He's one of them. We all get into fights on fucking in Canada and stuff like that. He's laughing. Do you know what I mean? He's that kind of guy. He loved that mentality. And we got on. And it was, I remember ringing up Abacus and Pax, had the thing. I was just P0, I was getting on the arm. I didn't know what it was. And I remember what they said to me. They don't class PTSD as a condition. They didn't class it as an injury. I was like, what the fuck? It's a career killer, bro. That's why I put it off for so long. And I tried to fucking hide it with drinking drugs and fighting. And it's just smudge. That's the way he is. It's a hand grenade. Just let him do what he needs to do. Just get him on tour, get him on a course, get him on a course, get him on a course. He's sound. He'll pass all the courses. Just don't bring him back to the barracks. Just put him straight on another fucking course. Do you know what I mean? That was my mentality.
Well, you're busy, aren't you? Your brain's busy, but you haven't got that time to sit and stew and think. When you're busy, it's a mechanism, isn't it? A coping mechanism.
Exactly. The longest I ever sit down now is doing podcasts. That's it. Normally I'm brown doing that. I've been out for a run this morning. It's too icy. I was about to go for a walk. I'm about to do this and that. It's that's what broke me, was just I didn't want to go down that route of PTSD, because so many people are still in the military with PTSD. There's company sergeant majors, regiment sergeant majors that got PTSD that have just not said it. And fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? They've grids through it, and I fucking commend them for it. It's just mine was very outward PTSD. I couldn't get away from it, bro. Like, I was banned from camp. You must know, like, Aldershot, obviously. The Queen's Ave, we were at the bottom. Like, I was banned from camp. I weren't even allowed on my camp, bro, because I was that, like, bad. Like, I was down St. Omar barracks. I weren't allowed to integrate with people when I was made P0 and getting out of the military for PTSD. I weren't allowed to speak to the corporals. Mate, when I went to the gate to go and get letters, do you know what I mean? They were trying to stop me, like rifles and that. I'm just like, I've gone from having 1,000 friends, of being one of the best soldiers in the Grenadier Guards, to being stopped at the fucking front gate. But I didn't give a fuck anyway. I was fucked anyway, bro. I was just burst in, grabbed the rifle, fucked it off. I couldn't give a fuck, mate. It's like, do you know what I mean? It was just, but I just felt hurt. I felt like that kid again at 5 years old. I had no family, I had no fucking friends. I was kicked to the curb again.
Yeah.
So I've given you everything. I've gave you everything. I've saved people's lives. I've done everything. I've not asked for anything in return. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm just fucking down the road. And that's where it really hit me. And I started reminiscing. And that's where I tried to kill myself the first time. Do you know what I mean? I was taking so many medication, from sleeping medication, Zopiclone, Mirtazapine. I mean, I've still got medication in there with the dates on it from like 2013 or 14, because I've kept them, because I'll never go back on them again. All it, antipsychotic drugs, just fucking bin bags, mate. And I remember saving them, because I had a plan. I was like, I'm done with this, mate. Like, kept drinking at night, because I was being a bit of a coward, do you know what I mean? Because I needed Dutch courage. You have Dutch courage to go out and fucking talk to girls or go out. I needed that courage to kill myself at the time. I was like drinking one night, smashing all the beer bottles around. There's Budweiser everywhere, all on the fucking floor. I was fucking cut up, everything like that. Locked my door and just fucking drank. Took fucking so much medication, boxes of it. I just can't remember anything, mate. And just fucking blacked out. Woke up a little bit. Remember waking up in a hospital with my brother-in-law. He's actually company sergeant major of 2 para now. I think he's regimental sergeant major. And Harris, amazing soldier. And I remember waking up, seeing him. He's like, what you done? I just fucking broke down, bro. I was just done. I was like, I'm done. He was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm done. I don't want to be here no more. I'm fucked. Like, I've just lost everything. And then got sectioned in the Mental Health Act. I had to go to Basingstoke Mental Health Hospital. I was sectioned there for about 3-4 months. Then had the welfare team come in. They tried to integrate me back in. And I was back in work that following weekend. Do you know what I mean? I was supposed to be there for 3-4 months. I think it's by the Thursday. By the Monday, I was back in work, straight on the Rangers. Fuck it, it's mad, innit?
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Nah, it's mad, mate. Like, I was just like, it was the best and worst thing for me, because it was just like right back into it, because I didn't have to deal with it.
And that
Do you
was
know what I
probably
mean?
their logic as well, wasn't it? But it's
Yes.
not, you don't go from being sectioned to then on a range. It's not the ideal way
No.
to do stuff, is it?
Not really. Like, you want people who are psychotic in the army, but you want their shit together as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was just that slippery slope, and it was just going down. It was just, when I tried to move away from the alcohol, the thoughts just come flooding in, bro. The emotions, like the constant suicidal ideations, and it was just like, I can't do this no more. I was being quite destructive. I was being more violent, and it was quite sickening what I was doing. And it was just like, then I tried to hang myself. I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this no more. I remember ringing up my shrink at the time from DCMH. It was about 4:30, I think it was sports afternoon. I was just like, I need help. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm suicidal. I said, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I can't do it. He went, this is out of hours. You need to ring DCMH. Can you ring someone else? I was just like, bam. I was just like, wow.
Out of
So
hours.
it's mad. So I ended up driving up Queen's Ave all the way to the top. Sat in my car. I remember having a fucking VXR at the time, sitting there. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. Got on top of the car park, stood on top of the car park. I was like, I'm just going to fucking jump off. Done with it. DCMH. I remember the RMPs coming over, trying to talk me down. I said, look, lads, I'm fucking done. They talked me down, obviously, because I'm fucking still here. And that's when I got sectioned again. And then I was under the Mental Health Act, went to Basingstoke. And that's where I spent, I think it was about 7-8 weeks there. Just medication. There was like an army unit at the back. So we're kind of like cross-posted, really, because we were still we're Civ Pop, which was weird, because then you think, I'm actually not crazy. Do you know what I mean? Because when you got people with schizophrenia, bipolar, fucking mad, like, I'm going for my porridge in the morning, there's a woman butt naked fucking shitting on the floor. I'm just like, do you know what I mean? But you can't like integrate them kind of people. We needed our own fucking place. Like,
Absolutely.
I am fucked, but not in that kind of way. Do you know what I mean? And it was just mad. But then at that time, my sister at the time, She was 32, I was 27 at the time. She was an alcoholic like my mum, and she was just going down that route, bro. Like, I used to go back home and drink with her at weekends, so she'd do it with me, not fucking trying to hide it and stuff. She went really downhill. She nearly lost her life. She took into hospital. That's put her into a self-induced coma because her organs were just failing. She was just drinking every day, like pints of vodka every single day, whiskey. Very, very manic. Do you know what I mean? Running out in the morning with no shoes or anything on, just a dressing gown, nothing underneath, going to get a bottle of fucking wine, drinking it. It was just fucking horrible, bro. And she got took into hospital and they said to her, look, if you drink again, you're going to die. Your liver can't do it. Her belly was bloated. She was yellow. Her fucking eyes were fucked. And she just went down in within about 3-4 days. She was took into the hospice. So you know it's like, that's it now, like all the organs are failing. I didn't really grasp it at the time. I was still in the mental health hospital and I was just like, I need to go. And they wouldn't let me go. They were just like, you can't, like, you're sectioned. I was like, I will kill everyone in here and kill myself if you do not let me out of here. So they put me on tag and I had to ring the police every morning and evening. They had to come and check on me just to give me respite at home. Went back to my stepdad's at the time. Because I actually was on tag at the time as well because I broke some guy's jaw. We can get into them in here. And then my sister sadly passed away. It was just, that was the turning point for me because my sister was like my big sister. We were the black sheep. We were completely different to anyone else in our family. Like, we went through so much fucking trauma, but we were the biggest fucking energy in the room. Do you know what I mean? We were that kind of people, hiding a lot of shit. And she always said to me, like, little bro, like, you just need to keep being you, man. Just fucking do it. Like, I love you. And that's the last thing she ever said to me. Ever since then, I just had to change, bro. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I took everything away and I just had to kind of take the bite of the bullet. Obviously with PTSD, I was getting discharged from the army. And that was it then. 2017 left, 25th of January. No qualifications, no nothing. Through resettlement, I couldn't do anything anyway because I was going DCMH twice a week. I was on so much medication. I couldn't go on any courses. I couldn't do anything. So it was literally, you're out on the 25th of January. I've done no resettlement because I can't do no resettlement. Fucking hell. I got a little bit of a payout. Been able to put a little bit of deposit on a house. That fucking helped me out massively. But it was just like in and out of different jobs, till taking drinks and drugs, trying to get help. The help was horrendous coming back. It was just that constant thing again, going to the Caledon Centre, trying to get help for mental health. They were really good. Some of the charities were really good. Help for Heroes were terrible. Combat Stress at the time were okay. It was just that slippery slope again, bro. And I tried to kill myself again. It was just like, when's the fucking turning point, bro? It was just when I kind of had my kids, it was just like, right, I'm fucking done. No drink, no drugs. I've been clean 3 years now. No drink, no drugs, suicide intentions. And that's where I had to change my mindset. I had to kind of back to the hexy blocks and bivy bags, bro, and just fucking rebuild myself.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. And I do like to, obviously, a really fucking shit time for you. There's no question about it. But I love to see, and again, why I do these podcasts, because you're a success story that it can be fixed. You're in the deepest, darkest possible place that anyone can be. PTSD, multiple attempts at, taking your own life, drink, drugs, the worst possible circle that you can be in. It is, that's rotation of all that kind of stuff. But you made that step and you changed your life and you've turned it around for the better for yourself, for your kids, for your family. And them success stories are why I do what I do, because it's proof that if you can do it, anyone can,
Yeah.
and it's just getting that out there. And it's just recognizing that you've got the issue to start with, isn't it? That's the big point, isn't it? It's like, I need proper treatment, and recognizing that, but it takes so many people, and sadly not all make it that far, do they?
Definitely, mate. It's just, you need to self-medicate. You need to self-heal. Like on tour, before you go on tour, what you taught. Do you know what I mean? If you get injured, you fix yourself and the people come behind you. Because if someone gets blown up, you need to make sure you're putting on that fucking, sorry, bro, tourniquet or head com. Do you know what I mean? You need to fix yourself. And this is what a lot of people don't have. And I think the military really need to do it is, when we go for these mental health things, we need to have resources and tools. Do you know what I mean? Where we can go to. I know my structure in discipline and timings are fucking key. They have to be. And people who ever come into my life, whether it's new people like that, people are, why are you so fucking straight? Why are you so straight to the point? Why are you so structured? What? My kids wouldn't have a fucking dad if I wasn't the way I am. If I don't get up at this certain time, if I don't go to the gym, if I don't keep myself like this, if I don't keep to a structure and timings and fucking roll calls, I still have a roll call for myself, bro. If I don't keep in that discipline, my kids won't have a dad. That's fuck off. That's not true. It's fucking true, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's what's so important. reaching out to people like yourself that are doing these podcasts and opening awareness for it are really important. It's just, I still go for my battles, but fucking hell, like I found Jesus Christ 2 years ago as my Lord and Savior, bro. Do you know what I mean? And having gratitude and God in my corner, nothing can break me no more, bro. Like it can't. I've survived 100% of my worst days. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Bitch about it?
Yeah, no. Well, like I say, that, and people need to find their thing that helps. And people choose fitness, people choose God, whatever it is that you need to find that gets you through. And routine's massive. I talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
Routine. You can't lay in bed till 10, 11 o'clock in the daytime and then fester and not do anything and procrastinate. It's about getting up. I do the same thing. I get up, I go early to the gym, I set my day out for the podcast, because without that, I've like yourself, I've had structure from the age of 17 in every profession I've done. Now suddenly I'm in a position where I kind of work for myself, and I can do what I want, but
Yeah.
you have to have that routine because it helps, doesn't it? Absolutely. So just moving on to finish off with, obviously the mindset soldier, that's what you do. It's, how did that come about and where you're heading with it now? Just tell me about that, before obviously I'm aware that we're at the hour point, but I want to hear about that because that's what you do
Yeah.
now.
So,
And that's brilliant.
kind of briefly, mate, I was kind of pushed into coaching, pushed into do social media. Didn't want to do it. I was hiding behind a fucking camera. Do you know what I mean? Before I actually did all my social media stuff, my actual name was Petrol Dread. So I had dreadlocks and I used to import American cars. I love my American cars, bro. Fucking love them. Did a course about public speaking because I kind of lost my voice. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? I was training fucking 500-600 people a day in the military. Gone from that where I can't even speak to myself in the mirror. I did this course, told people my story, what I've been through. And the guy in the course was just like, you need to start telling your story because you're going to say you will save people's life with what you've been through. And that was kind of kick up the thing. I was like, right, I'll do it. Bit thing. One of my first videos that I did about 2.5 years ago was about suicide. It was just me on the camera, fucking terrible video, but it was just me just being honest. I was like, right, record. Did it, put it out there. It went fucking viral. I was just honest and vulnerable, bro. I was broken, you can see. But what really broke me about that video and made me give me the fire, forged me to keep going on was one of my good friends, Martin Moore, army dad, bro. Fucking multiple tours, CP, guy was a fucking unit, couldn't be broken. Do you know that kind of guy? Like, fuck, like he's a geezer, like, do you know what I mean? Loved him to bits. And he sent me a message. He's like, how you doing, mate? It's fucking hell, I ain't spoke to you for ages. Yeah, I'm absolutely good. You know, when something's just off,
Yeah.
like, I was just like, what's up, bro? Like, something's up. End up picking up the phone to him, ringing him, talking to him. He just broke down. He was just like, smudged, like, you saved my life. I said, what are you on about? He was just like, I tried to take my own life last week. I was taking all my medication, got my medication. I think he was doing security at the time. I think he said he rang his mum to speak to his daughter to say, look, daddy loves you, but daddy's got to go. And as he put his phone down, Instagram come up and it was a video of me talking about suicide. And he watched it and it stopped him. And that still gives me fucking shivers, bro.
It has me as well, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, that's something out of a movie. And I was just like, fucking hell, like, it's one to many. Social media is giving me a platform to speak to millions of people. And I get it all the time. I get hundreds of messages, like people I don't even know that are fucking geezers, women or whatever they are. That video massively helped me. And that's what gave me the momentum. I was just doing videos 2-3 times a day. I've done thousands and thousands of videos. None of them are scripted. They're literally me just talking how I'm feeling that day, what I've been through, doing an analogy around it. I've got better with the videos, obviously, because before I was very fucking military. Just look down the camera and speak.
It takes a
Do you
bit
know what I
of
mean?
training, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, bro. It's just I flow a bit better now. Do you know what I mean? I talk to it, analogies, put this to it, that to it, what about perspective? And it's just problems and solutions. We are all our own problem, but we're also a solution. I can change anything into a solution if you stand with the problem. That's what a lot of people don't. They're stuck in that problem and that negative mindset, that victimhood, that mentality. Do you know what I mean? And they're stuck in it. And going through all that, I just love doing the social media, doing it all for that. It's gave me great opportunities doing public speaking, motivational talks all across the world. And then people get asking me for coaching. I was just like, fucking hell, I'm the only life coach, bro, that hasn't got his life together. That's what I say to people. So fucked, you know what I mean? There's no point coming to me for help. Like, I'm still fucked. I'm still going through my shit. But it's just like, God's taught me that even when you're going through the trials and tribulations and fucking trenches, I still offer help. And I'm sure you say it to yourself. I can give the best advice, but I just can't give it to myself.
Yeah. I do know where you're coming from on that, because I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff that I've kind of done. I'm all right. I've always been all right, or so I've thought. But, there are things from childhood with myself and all sorts of bits I need to address. And I feel like I can't I can't practice. I've got to practice what I preach. You know, I'm giving everyone advice on sort of, you know, reaching out and stuff. So I'm taking steps myself to do exactly that, probably, you know, going through bits and bobs to address them as well. But no, the messages that you put out, and I've watched loads of your videos. That's what, like, I spoke to you a few months back. I've been watching your videos for a time, and I was like, right, I want to get him on because he relates to everything that I'm trying to push on the podcast, and he just make a great guest. So no, I thank you for taking time to come on. I love what you're doing, and it's just great to hear, not a success story, but it is a success story, but it's just hear blokes that have been on the cusp of where you've been at, and then chose not only to do it in a positive way, but to do it to help others as well. Because that is something, you get to a certain point in your life when you've done a lot of stuff where you think, actually, I can create a bit of a platform here to help other people. And I think that's commendable, and that's just a great thing to do. So, you know, hats off to you, brother. Where are you heading next with it? What you got big that's coming up?
Mainly, it's more motivational talks. I'll be doing more across the world. My coaching, I'm going to reform that more biblically, just because Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and He saved my life, and I want to kind of put that into my coaching, because you can't go wrong with it. And it's kind of on the aspect of 4 things. Like, there's 4 things a male, especially a male, females as well, but a male, there's 4 things, which is sacrifice and suffer, provide and protect. If you haven't got them 4 things in life, you're not a man. It's simple as that. If you're not providing, you're not a man. If you're not sacrificing, you're not a man. If you're not suffering, you're not a man. Do you know what I mean? It's these things that we need in life to make us a man, because they're so important. Happiness is just a byproduct. Sadness is just a byproduct. So when I can go through life, if I'm not providing, protecting, or sacrificing or suffering for someone or myself or the Lord, the fuck am I here for, bro? Like, you can be in the best job in the world, best job, best money, whatever you're doing. But if you're not actually providing a service or sacrificing something to be that person, providing or protecting something, why do you do CP? Provide and protect, provide and suffer. It's the same thing. Like, that's what a man is supposed to be. Like, a man needs to ingrain this. Like, society these days is just this bitch mentality. I say it to people, like, fuck your feelings. Feelings are just a byproduct. Feelings do not save lives. They don't. Get past them, deal with them, feel that emotion. Feeling grief, feel it. Do you know what I mean? Deal with it, move forward. So many people are just these days, especially men, are gripped on fucking getting in tune with their emotions and shit. Fuck that shit, bro. I'm just not like that. I get it. I'll feel it. I'll love hard. I also kill hard. And that's the same thing I want to ingrain to my kids. Like, I absolutely fucking love them. So I'll always do that for them. It's them 4 things that I want to go forward this year, is just implement with them people, because I've got no tolerance for bullshit, bro. Just haven't.
No, I get that about you, Dave. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. You've put that across quite well about the bullshit. I know, I get you. I do get you. Sometimes there is a no bullshit approach. Sometimes it's softly. Sometimes you've just got to have a straight talking, no bullshit kind of. The thing is with that, there are people doing it a softly way, and it will work for them. But I think you find with veterans, you have to create a path for them. And it's giving that tough love a bit like, right, you need to pick yourself up, get yourself a purpose, do what you got to do. And for me, and you sounds like yourself, obviously, you've got a purpose now when it's like you're suffering, providing, you know, you're providing help for other people. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Like I said, yeah, if you're a man and you're going through the day and you don't feel like you're just surviving, or you're sacrificing, you're suffering, or you're going through a little bit of pain, you ain't doing manhood right, bro. We're supposed to be like this. We're meant for this. We've got the biggest shoulders in the world, bro. We can carry anything if we just want to move forward. Like, if you ain't feeling that, if you're going through life as a man all willy-nilly thinking you're all bad in this and the ego and the pride, couldn't give a fuck, mate.
Absolute fair points. Mate, look, absolute pleasure talking to you. They're not easy topics to talk about, obviously, but you come on, you open up, and you embody what I'm trying to kind of get across there, is that you need to get your stories out there. You need to reach out for help, and you need to have a purpose. And it's only you that can change your life around, no one else at the end of the day. So, look, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for taking the time to come on.
No, thank you, brother. God bless, mate.
And you, mate, you take care.